What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Quincy Ball Sports, and this is an episode that I'm excited for. I'm really excited for. We're going to talk today about a sport that a lot of people like, but a lot of people don't watch the college version of it. A lot of you might not watch college hockey. This isn't college hockey. College baseball does not get the recognition it deserves. Everyone loves baseball. Baseball is a great sport, and a lot of people pay attention to the MLB. Not a lot of people pay much attention to college baseball, and they're kind of out of the loop. I'm going to make sure you are in the loop this season. I'm going to do a lot of college baseball coverage, and with that comes your favorite thing in the world. You guys beg for it every day in the comments. Bracketology. We're going to do a preseason bracketology and season preview for college baseball. I'm going to go over the tournament bracket, how it works, and everything. We actually have a special guest today. Please welcome from Dayton, Ohio, freshman pitcher for the Dayton Flyers, Brock Bagesha.
Hey everybody, excited to be here, excited to talk some baseball.
Yes, so Brock is my friend. He went to my high school. Now he is a freshman pitcher at the University of Dayton. So he will be with us to preview some teams. He knows more about college baseball than I do. So this is what we're doing. But we have a lovely, lovely board. The board is absolutely beautiful. There she is. Let me move OBS out of the way. So this is our board. Now, I'm going to go over how the tournament bracket works. It is just like college basketball. There are 64 teams. The winners from all 32 conferences make it, just like college basketball. And then there's 32 at large. So that's how you get the 64 teams. Each one, and then the top 16 teams, they're in the top right of every single one of these little squares. The top 16 teams host the regionals, which is they host with 3 other teams, and they play in a double elimination bracket. It's like about 6 games max, and whoever wins that goes to the super regional, which is at the bottom here. And they face the winner from the other regional. The super regional is just a best of 3. First to win 2 wins it. And then of the 8 super regional winners, they go to Omaha for the College World Series. And they are split into 2 groups of 4. Again, the winners of those 2 groups of 4 go to the championship, and that's a best of 3. So I hope that makes sense to all of you. But Brock is going to be with us to preview all of the teams. And then we will make some picks. So the first team is Florida. They are stacked. They're the number 1 team in the entire country. Let's look at some studs that they have on their team. They've got Judd Fabian. He is really good. Murray, you guys know Murray. He's a big Florida fan. He's been just raving about this guy. He's an absolute stud. Brock, what do you think of Florida?
Florida is one of the most consistent programs in college baseball. They breed pitching talent. Alex Faedo, Brady Singer, Jackson Coar all came out of Florida. This year, Tommy Mace will probably be their ace. Before obviously committing here, Florida was my favorite college baseball team to watch. Breed talent, great program. Kevin O'Sullivan at the helm. Can't really say enough about him.
Okay, so that's Florida. Next is UNC. I know they were really good last year. They were ranked in the top 25. Then they got upset in the Super Regionals by Auburn, but they're looking to be pretty decent this year as well. But then, so I don't know. They might have a chance to beat Florida. I don't know what you think about them.
Don't know that much about UNC. I believe Matt Harvey's a UNC grad. A lot of people I know really wanted to play there. They get a lot of appeal just because of, UNC college basketball. They have really great uniforms. I know some of the most popular in college baseball. Everybody loves those baby blues. But I do know that they've been a decent program the last few years, and they've been ranked a couple times, I would say.
All right, next we have Tulane. Not much about them. They were pretty good last year. I think they were ranked for a portion. I forget that. I know they're usually pretty decent. And then Albany, I had to pick a team from the America East. They were the best last year, so we can just go with them. So coming out of this regional, I'm going to have Florida. I think that's pretty easy. They're the number 1 team in the country. I don't think you're going to disagree with that at all.
No, I'd have to pick Florida as well in that one.
UNC might give them a good run.
They could. Tulane's got another actual notable region alumni, Cody Hosey from Griffith, was just drafted a few years ago. He's from Tulane, great ball player out of Griffith.
For my people that don't know, the region is Northwest Indiana. Anyway, next is eighth ranked Arkansas. Now, Arkansas made me mad because I picked them to win the College World Series last year when like I made a bracket when Omaha first started. This is 2 years ago because I didn't have it last year because COVID. But I picked Arkansas to win it all, and they completely folded. They lost 2 games, but I know they have some studs in their team. They scored 30 runs in a game. It seems like they're just always up there in terms of offensive talent. What do you think of them?
Arkansas, another really consistent program out of the SEC. You'll see a lot of that out of the SEC, just teams that consistently find themselves in the top 64 at the end of the year in super regionals and even in Omaha. It might even be possible to see 3 of the 8 teams in Omaha from the SEC. That's not totally uncommon.
All right. Next we have a team I like a lot just because I kind of rode their momentum in college football. You guys love this team, but they actually have a national championship in college baseball in I think 2016 or 2015. I can't remember. They went on a miracle run and ended up winning it all. A very good college baseball program as of late. Coastal Carolina. They've got a lot of studs on their team. What do you think of them?
Tommy Lestell out of Coastal Carolina. Actually, my 13U travel coach played baseball at Coastal Carolina. Definitely a dark horse program that could make some noise.
All right, and next, nothing much about these last 2 teams. Apparently Villanova's pretty decent at baseball. I had to pick a Big East team. Big East not really known for baseball. And then Navy, I forget what kind. I think they're in the Patriot League. They were pretty good last year, so I just picked them. Not really much on those 2 teams. But out of this regional, I'm going to go with the favorite again. Give me Arkansas. I don't think. Coastal could give them a good run. That'd be a great final to watch, but I think Arkansas would win. Do you disagree?
I would say that's the safe bet. Again, yeah, you're right. Coastal does have a more recent national championship.
True.
But Arkansas is a powerhouse for sure.
All right, next we have a team I love, Louisville. Obviously, Louisville Slugger Museum is down there. They breed baseball talent. They have a really good draft prospect. Let me draw up like Alex. Help me out here, Brock. Benalis?
Probably Benalis.
Benalis. Yeah, he's third baseman. I've heard a lot of really good things about him. Anyone else? Henry Davis, really good catcher. I know Will Smith went there. So, yeah, Will Smith went there. They breed talent. Brendan McKay, they're nuts in baseball.
Right. Louisville, another team you're going to find in Omaha quite a bit. My high school pitching coach played at Louisville, and actually the 4 people he lived with, or the 3 people he lived with, all went in the top 3 rounds. It's a great program. Right, like you said, Louisville's got a big baseball tradition as well as basketball, but the Louisville Slugger Museum is there. They've been good for a while, and I could see them to continue being good.
All right, next we have Georgia, another one of these SEC teams. How many SEC teams do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 10, 11 SEC teams. SEC might be better in baseball than they are in football. That's like not a joke. Like relatively speaking. Like I
could say that's definitely a accurate claim there.
All right, but Georgia, another powerhouse school. They're not up there with some of the other teams like Florida, and then Dartmouth. Santa Clara. The West. You got to watch out for the West Coast teams. There are a lot of West Coast teams that can do some damage. We'll talk about Pepperdine, San Diego, Santa Barbara, and Northridge, teams like that later. But Santa Clara, another one of those teams, and Dartmouth, they're kind of the odd man out here. I had to pick an Ivy League team, and they were all terrible 2 years ago, so that's where Dartmouth comes in. I am going with Louisville. I don't know if you disagree.
I like Louisville here, too. I will say Georgia, in 2019, Dayton opened against them. They played pretty well. Back then, they were ranked number 8. I'm not sure who they still have. I do remember in 2019, Emerson Hancock was a big name really good starting pitcher. But a good program for sure. But Louisville would definitely be my favorite as well.
Okay. Next, we have Vanderbilt. Now, they are your defending champs, even though there wasn't a championship last year, but they have their number one player in the country, this bad man, right-handed pitcher, Kumar Rocker. This guy is absolutely nuts. He is absolutely nuts. He's got an electric fastball, wicked slider to go with it, 19 strikeout, no-hitter in the regional against Duke 2 years ago. The guy is absolutely nuts. And they're going to lean on him this year, but it's not him. They got a lot of other studs around him. Vandy, usually one of, if not the best college baseball team year in and year out.
Right. You can't go wrong picking Vandy usually. Kumar Rocker, obviously the big name, but Jack Leiter as well. I believe he's number 6 on that big board that you had right there. Really good pitcher out of Vanderbilt. That's going to be a really tough 1-2 once they get into the playoffs. Everybody knows about Vanderbilt college baseball. It's become a big part of baseball culture recently. Big time team.
I'll say it again. I'll say it once and I'll say it again. Pitching is the most important part of baseball. And Brock will agree because he is a pitcher. But I'll tell you why. It's because, think about it. Mike Trout can bat 1 every 9 times. Trevor Bauer controls half the game. Pitchers control half the game. Like, that is nuts. Like,
right.
You need pitching.
It's even a bigger deal when you have a complete staff. Because, one pitcher pitches once every 5 days, one starter. But when you have a complete staff, that's half the game, half the time, and you got good players. It's a big deal for sure.
So that's why I think the Padres will win the World Series. Spoiler alert for the baseball preseason video that will be coming eventually. Arizona, another really good team. Them and State, 2 very good teams. We'll talk about Arizona State a little bit later, but Arizona, usually perennial. I think they lost to Coastal Carolina in that one championship. But Arizona, another big team to watch out for.
Right, yeah. Don't know much about Arizona's program, but Pac-12 teams usually pretty solid, and they get some good weather, so I'm sure that they can get out, play outside for a long time, which definitely does help.
Speaking of weather, a state with terrible weather, Michigan, and the Central Michigan Chippewas. Are they the Chippewas? I thought did they change their name? I don't know.
They are the Chippewas.
I thought I heard they changed their name because it's offensive. I don't know. I don't think it's offensive. Doesn't matter.
I believe it's the Chippewas. Yeah.
Okay, it doesn't matter. They're usually a pretty good team. They ran away with the MAC last year. They could be a dark horse. And then Belmont's decent, but nothing special. There's an obvious favorite here. Give me Vandy.
Not going to argue with you there.
Okay. Next, we have a very competitive region with the second-ranked UCLA Bruins. Another team that they breed pitching talent. Bauer and Cole both went there. Apparently they hate each other. Apparently they beat Matt McLean, shortstop. I've heard a lot of great things about this guy. Great defender, hits well. He's going to be a guy probably taken in the top 5 picks. He's an absolute stud. UCLA, one of the favorites. Got to watch out for them every year.
Right, yeah, UCLA's found themselves in the top 10 a lot the past few years. A good program on the West Coast. A lot of nice weather out there as well.
All right, also, I know we've been talking about the weather a little bit. So college baseball starts in mid-February. Why? I don't know. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. But a lot of these teams like San Diego, Florida, Santa Barbara, Miami, UCLA, they don't know what snow is. They just have clear weather all around. Meanwhile, up here in Northwest Indiana, we have a foot of snow on the ground. So a lot of like, I know Dayton's not in a great area for weather. You guys play South Carolina to open the season, right?
Correct. Yeah, we've been dealing with some snow recently. We've had to stay inside for the most part.
Yeah. So
it's unfortunate, but you make the best of it.
Yeah. So a lot of teams, they're either going to be playing teams in the South, or there will be mini tournaments held in the South. But another team for the South, SEC again, Tennessee, very good program. SEC, A lot of people like them. I love Tennessee. They're a team. Do they have any top players to watch out for? Doesn't look like it. But yeah, they're usually a really good team. And they could give UCLA a run for their money in this bracket. I think they're like 8. They're in the top 25. I think they're like 20-ish.
Right, they're like 18, 19. Definitely excited to play them Game 7 this year. Should be a good challenge, but really excited for it.
Right,
Pretty consistent program. Garrett Crochet out of Tennessee just last year.
Oh, yeah,
Crazy
Brock
to
loves
believe.
Garrett Crochet. He loves Garrett Crochet.
It's effortless velocity. It's beautiful to watch.
So for all my White Sox fans out there, this man uses Garrett Crochet every game in MLB The Show. Anyway, Louisiana Tech coming out of Conference USA, they're by far the best team in that conference, I would say. They could be a dark horse to watch out for. Then NC Central, they're kind of the odd man out. I had to take a MEAC team. I know it seems like I'm going with quite a bit of favorites here, and I'm going to do it again. I'm going to take UCLA. There are upsets coming, I promise you. But right now I'm taking UCLA.
I like the UCLA as well. I think this one may be your closest of the quadrants yet. UCLA and Tennessee, if it were to shape out like this, would be a great battle for sure.
All right, next we have hot take, the most overrated jerseys in all of sports. Ole Miss. Anyway, they're a great team. They're number 6 or 7. Number 7, I think, in the country. They're number 6. They're full of studs. I think they have some players to watch. Let's see. There has to be someone here. Come on. There has to be someone here. Gunnar Hogland. Pitcher. He's pretty good. Ole Miss, I know made the SEC championship 2 years ago, and then they lost in like the craziest baseball game I've ever seen to Vandy. It was like they went up 6-0 or something, and then I think Vandy won 11-10 in extra innings. It was nuts. It was a crazy game. But they're another powerhouse team you've always got to watch out for. But they're in a tough region here. I'll let you talk about Ole Miss, but then we talk about these other teams.
Yeah, Ole Miss baseball, I hadn't heard about it until the last few years. I'm sure they've had a good program, but Ole Miss baseball is pretty big there. Swayze Field's one of the nicer complexes in college baseball. Draw a lot of fans. Obviously, that may look a little bit different this year, but big baseball culture at Ole Miss, and they are. You said they're in the top 10, I believe.
They're 6.
So yeah, I'm sure that they're going to be a good team this year.
Okay, now these other 3 teams, though, this is the most competitive region, in my opinion, by far. East Carolina. Fun fact, Mike Trout was originally committed to East Carolina, and then he signed with the Angels. So that's just a little fun fact for you, but they breed baseball talent. East Carolina, they're either a dark horse or a top team every single year. They're nuts. Shout out Redbirds. I know he basically is like lives on their campus pretty much. He like lives 5 minutes away. Huge East Carolina fan. He's told me how great they are. They're full of studs. And Long Beach State, also a really good team from the West Coast. A lot of people really get behind them. And even Texas State. I've heard some good things about them. I've heard some really good things about Texas State coming out of the Sun Belt. And maybe could have made these regions a little bit more even because this is a stacked region. Do you have anything to say about any of these 3?
Yeah, that's a really good region for sure. Like you said, East Carolina's up there. Long Beach State, Troy Tulowitzki's a notable alumni. Don't know much about Texas State, but they were at the top of their conference last year, I believe. So this one could be another close one.
All right, tell me who you're taking first.
I mean, I know we're taking a lot of favorites here. If to play devil's advocate, I will take Long Beach State.
I am taking East Carolina. I like them, man. I've heard so many great things about them. They're nuts in baseball. Long Beach State also a really good team, but I'm taking them. All right, next is the team and people that hate Ole Miss more than anybody else, Mississippi State. And they're actually, I hate Mississippi. You guys know how much I know. But I cannot deny that they are a terrific team. Mississippi State is absolutely nuts. Christian, whatever that last name is, and Will Bednard, they have their pitchers, right? Yeah, 2 great pitchers. They are definitely full of studs. Big baseball culture down there in Starkville. I feel like they're packed every single game. They've got a beautiful stadium. I think they like renovated it this year or something. Can't remember, but Mississippi State always full of studs. They're a team you got to watch out for. As much as I don't like them, I can't deny that they're a great team.
Right, yeah, Mississippi State. I just recounting the last few years, I remember seeing top prospects in my class. A bunch of them all went to Mississippi State. They did a big draw from that stadium. They actually have it in left field, I believe, where you can rent out a hotel room style, like a
Yeah, I've
room
seen
during
that.
the game. It's different, but it draws fans. It's a major league envilement for sure
It's
at
kind of like
Mississippi
that
State and
stadium in the
Starkville.
show. There's a stadium in the show
Right,
that has a hotel.
right. It's very similar to that,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Anyway,
big
so
draw there. Big draw.
big powerhouse team. Then you got Florida State, also a very good team. They went on down and upset LSU the last time a regional was played. They have a. Do you know what their coach's name? I feel like they said he's been there like forever.
I don't know his name, but I do know who you're talking about. He's
They
been
have
there
a really
for a
good
while.
coach who's been there for forever, and they're always a really good team. I'm gonna save Dayton for the end here. Alabama State, I had to take a SWAC team. I think they're in the SWAC. They're kind of the oddball out. But now we're going to talk about Brock's team, Dayton. Dayton, they were kind of the definition of average, I think, one year. But Brock tells me that they've got some good talent. Brock, tell us the studs that we need to watch out for on Dayton.
Right, I could give you a full scouting report. Our whole infield this year could be drafted. Riley Terada at third base, Ben Blackwell at short, could both go in the top 5 rounds. We've got a lot of veteran leaders on the pitching staff, and all around, I feel like our offense can hang with just about anyone in the country. You already know that I'm going to take us out of this quad, because if I'm not, why are we even taking the field? You play to win, right? But I do believe, we've had some good environment lately, a lot of positivity, and we're ready to play ball for sure.
All right, so I got to go with Dayton. As much as Mississippi State and Florida State are powerhouses, got to go with Dayton. Love me some Dayton. Anyway, next we have Texas Tech. Now, I know, didn't Josh Jung just leave there? I know he was there. But Texas Tech, I think they might be my favorite. They might be my favorite. They are nuts. They're absolutely nuts. Holy cow. Clemson just hit a buzzer beater against Georgia Tech. There you go, in basketball. Anyway, we're talking about baseball. Texas Tech, absolutely nuts team. What do you think about that?
Right. Good program for sure. Texas Tech, another team from the South, Big 12 team. Interesting fact, Patrick Mahomes did play some baseball for Texas Tech. I believe he actually had a 99 ERA, but he was on the team. I've heard a lot about them the last few years, and definitely a team to look out for.
All right, next, another team that made Omaha the last time that was a thing, Auburn. Another SEC team, really good team to watch out for. And then New Mexico. I've heard a lot of really good things about New Mexico. A lot of really good things. Nothing but good news coming from New Mexico. They're might be my number one sleeper to watch out for. And East Tennessee State usually is a pretty good team too. What do you think?
Yeah, Auburn a few years ago, Casey Mize, number 1 overall pick, came out of Auburn. I believe Nick Gonzalez was from either New Mexico or New Mexico State. That's my bad last year, but he was a first rounder as well. I'll actually take Auburn out of this quadrant.
Ooh, interesting.
Think that they could be a really good team.
I really like Texas Tech, so I'm going to rock with them. All right, to the bottom row we go. Virginia. A lot of people like Virginia. I'm not a huge fan. I don't think they're that great. I'm kind of not really getting the hype surrounding them. But anyway, another team that I like, Chris Bryant went here. This team is usually really, really good. I'm telling you, watch out for this team. I really like them. I think they could do some big things this year. San Diego. I like what San Diego has cooking. I think they're a really good West Coast team. They got a lot of people returning. I think they could be a really good team. And then Penn State, not great in baseball, but they kind of just barely squeaked in. And then Niagara, I had to pick a team from whatever conference they're in. What do you think about this quad?
Yeah, I actually saw Virginia play in Omaha a few years ago. Not necessarily a team that makes like a whole bunch of noise. Can't necessarily name any really big names out of there in the past few years, but they're always pretty good. San Diego as well, like you said, Chris Bryant. Beautiful field right on the ocean. Draws a lot of big recruits.
All right, I am going with San Diego. I think they pull it out. What do you got?
I would have to take Virginia out of this one. I'm just going to have to stick with the consistency. I like the San Diego pick, but I think Virginia probably, if it were to be set up like this, I would have to take Virginia.
All right, next we have a team that I like a lot, Texas. Also, I'm thinking about going there for college. They're really good in sports broadcasting, but this isn't about me. Ty Madden, great pitcher for Texas. This guy is a stud. They've got someone else really good, too. I'm drawing a blank on his name. You don't hear about these people that much, so it's kind of hard to remember. Pete Hanson, another really good pitcher. You need pitching, and they definitely have it. So I think they're definitely the favorite to win the Big 12. Texas Tech will give them a really good run. It'll be interesting coming out of the Big 12. But Texas, powerhouse team. And then Arizona State, also generally a pretty good team. Everyone wants to go to Arizona. If you ask 10 people in your high school where they want to go to college, one person will say Arizona State. That is a fact. One person will say Arizona State. And then Wichita State. A lot of people like them in baseball. And UNC Wilmington, also generally a pretty good team. This is a pretty good region. Who do you like on this
one? Arizona State, big-time program. Dustin Pedroia and Barry Bonds, both from Arizona State.
Oh, yeah. Bonds.
Texas
and
really consistent.
What's his name? Torkelson.
Right. Number 1 overall pick last year. Wichita State and Texas are both good programs. And UNC Wilmington is a team that Dayton split with last year. Just let one get away, but another good program. But out of this one, I would have to go with Arizona State.
Really? I don't know. I love what Texas has cooking. They've got some seriously good pitching, and I think they take this one. All right, next. I know you said, or no, there's one region we still have left to do that is nuts in terms of that's just stacked. But you said you thought this one was also really, really good. LSU, usually a really good team. Alex Bregman, notable alumni. They are usually near the top of the SEC. But I want to talk about Dallas Baptist. So they came out with some college baseball poll, some newspaper made a poll. I sent it. I was like, how's Dallas Baptist ranked? And you told me, and I've heard this from many other people too, that they are insane in college baseball. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, Dallas Baptist is one of those programs that you're not necessarily going to hear a bunch about, but they're in the top 25 really consistently. Ben Zobrist is one alumni.
Really?
From there. Yeah, he did start. A lot of people know that he
champion Ben Zobrist.
He started his career at Olivet Nazarene, but he transferred to Dallas Baptist, and that's where he was drafted out of. Really good team, though. Kind of like Long Beach State and Santa Barbara, as well as Cal State Fullerton. Some teams that you really don't hear a lot about, but some of the best in college baseball.
Yeah, but obviously LSU, really good. Maryland. And then McNeese. A lot of people like McNeese. Heard a lot of good things about them, but I am taking Dallas Baptist. I've just heard so many good things about this team from so many different sources. It's too much not to take them. I'm rocking with Dallas Baptist.
I like that pick as well. I think the easy pick would be LSU here, but I could definitely see Dallas Baptist making out of this.
All right, next one we have sort of a weak region. NC State, Pepperdine, Iowa, and Wagner. I know you got an offer from Wagner, but I don't know. I'm not really going to waste that much time. All I'm going to say, Pepperdine got all the way up to rank 16 last year. All the way up, they ended the season ranked 16. They return a lot of starters. I don't know how they're not ranked. They have a beautiful, you mentioned San Diego's field and Mississippi State. Pepperdine is the best field in all of college baseball. I mean, I love their field. I know you love BYU. Pepperdine has the best field. They've got palm trees everywhere. It's in Malibu. Oh, it's just great. Love me some Pepperdine. They're winning this region.
Right, Pepperdine, another good program. NC State, though. NC State's usually up there. That's actually who I would pick out of this one. No offer from Wagner, just some conversation.
No,
Never got that far. That's my bad. But I'm gonna have to take NC State here.
Okay. Next, Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, UT Rio Grande Valley. A lot of people tell me UT Rio Grande Valley, really good team. And then SC Upstate's kind of the odd man out. But I think this could be a dogfight between Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, and UTRGV. God, that's a mouthful. But this is interesting here. But I'm gonna go with Tech. I know Oklahoma State lost some talent from last year's team, and Georgia Tech is one of the better teams in the ACC.
Right, Georgia Tech could be the team that wins the ACC if it's not Florida State. Real tough battle in the state of Georgia right there for best baseball program because Georgia Tech's usually up there as well. I like the other teams here, but I feel like Georgia Tech's the favorite here and that they would be the ones to take it.
All right, now this next region, nuts, literally nuts. All okay. Besides Youngstown State, no offense to Youngstown State, Santa Barbara. Okay, I'm gonna take you guys to a story. So my dad went to Louisville. We were watching Louisville in the Super Regional a few years ago. This was back when I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. Okay, Louisville, they were tied 1-1. It was Game 3. Louisville was up 3-0 in the last inning, and they bring in, I forget his name. I think they brought in Brendan McKay. I can't remember. They brought in some stud that was taken like in the top 5. It probably was Brendan McKay. I can't remember. Actually, I don't think it was Brendan McKay. Santa Barbara ends up loading the bases. Okay. They bring in their last guy off the bench, this little like 5'7" lefty. And he hooked one around the foul pole for a walk-off grand slam when they were down by 3. Since then, this program is consistently up there with the best of the best. They are full of studs. I'm telling you, this team is for real. You might not have heard of them. They are insane. Love me some UC Santa Barbara.
Right, like I said before, one of those sleeper teams that really just shines in baseball. West Coast baseball in the United States, they're always good. Like, I'll take it even to the Little League World Series. Think about how many times California, the team from the West, is the one representing
Hawaii. Hawaii's been really good.
Right. But it's the team representing the U.S. when they play that championship game, and it's not by coincidence. It's a big deal there. Again, I'll bring it back to the weather is beautiful, but you will also see that here with Miami and Texas A&M.
Oh yeah.
Miami is another team that I actually got to see play in Omaha when we went. Texas A&M, a lot of people know about their ballpark, their little tradition that they have. If a pitcher walks someone on 4 straight balls, they'll start chanting ball 5, ball 6.
Oh yeah, I sent that to you. I sent him a video of that, and they were on to like ball 12 with this poor pitcher.
Yeah, to me that looks exciting. I hope that's somewhere that I get to play one day.
I don't think you want to walk anyone on 4 pitches. I'm just saying.
Hey, that'll get me amped up. That's exactly.
But I was
that's what you live for.
So Miami and Texas A&M, 2 other really, really good programs. I maybe could have balanced out these regions a little bit more. Sorry, Youngstown State, you're gonna get murdered. But give me Santa Barbara.
I'm actually going to go with A&M out of this one. I do like Santa Barbara a lot, but I'm going to take the powerhouse in A&M.
Okay. Nice. All right, next we have TCU, Michigan, Wake Forest, and Omaha. Now, question. Are the baseball fields that they play at for the College World Series, is that like Omaha's home stadium?
It's actually Creighton's home stadium.
They play in Omaha too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, I don't know, TCU, a lot of people really like them, but I'm going to take Michigan. They went on this miracle run the last time there was a College World Series. They went on just this miracle run. They were unranked. They went into Los Angeles and beat UCLA. They ran through teams like Arkansas and Mississippi State, got all the way to the championship matchup. They won Game 1 against Vanderbilt, and they ran into this man named Kumar Rocker, and then they couldn't quite finish it out. But I don't know. They're just a team that seems to get it done. I hate Michigan with a dying passion, but you can't deny that they get it done.
Yeah, this is one really stacked quadrant right here. I could say a few things about each of the teams here. So TCU, I'm actually a big fan of their strength coach, Zach Deschamps. He posts a lot of great stuff. Really well-conditioned team. Lots of stars from there. Jake Arrieta and Matt Carpenter, to name two. Michigan, like you said, College World Series runner-up. Actually a team that Dayton split with last fall, but a good program. And Wake Forest, who I am actually going to take out of this region. Part of the reason I like them is that they are at the cutting edge for science in baseball. They have this pitching lab at their stadium that's just it's state of the art. It's fantastic, and yeah, you could look it up and show it to everybody. It's really cool. Lots of technology in there.
I'm interested.
And then also one other region alumni, Bobby Seymour from Wake Forest, one of the best hitters in the ACC. So I'm going to take Wake Forest.
I can just imagine you having a blast in this. This looks really cool. That looks really cool.
Yeah, definitely really cool. Yeah.
Okay. Next, last one. We're kind of going a little bit long here, but that's fine. West Virginia, South Carolina. I know you guys opened the season against South Carolina. Let's see what you guys can do there. But I know West Virginia. I don't really know much about any of these teams. Stetson, I don't really like Stetson. And then Northridge, they're a pretty good team. I really don't know much about any of these teams, but I'm just going to take the ranked team with West Virginia. I'll let you take it from here.
Yeah, South Carolina's number 17. Really excited to open the season against them next week. I'd probably have to take them out of this regional just because they are the big dog out of the four of these. Really consistent program, another SEC program. So I'm going to go with South Carolina here.
Okay, so now we have all of this. So now, after those, they play these teams are going to be playing each other to get the right to go to Omaha. Florida, okay, I'm going to reveal my first region. I'm taking Florida in 3. San Diego will push this. They're my dark horse this year. I really think that they can push this hard with Florida, but I'm going to take the Gators. Arkansas and Texas. I'm taking Texas. Arkansas, they let me down last time I picked them. And Texas has the really good pitching, so give me them. Vandy, they're going to kill Pepperdine. I love Pepperdine. Vandy would kill them. And then Dallas Baptist. I have heard so many good things about them. They're my sleeper. I know I just said San Diego was. Screw it. Dallas Baptist. I love Louisville. I love Louisville so much. The amount of good things I've heard about Dallas Baptist is crazy. Give me Dallas Baptist. So who do you okay, so you had Virginia instead of San Diego. You had Arizona State instead of Texas. I think you had NC State over Pepperdine. So who would be your 4?
So I'm still gonna take Florida, and I'm gonna take those top 4 actually, right along the top. Not to be the guy making the boring picks, but these are 4 really good programs, and I just see them winning. Yes, Dallas Baptist, definitely a great team, but Louisville's number 5 in the country. Great program, great tradition. Vanderbilt, gonna be nuts. And Arkansas, I just see edging out. Who did I have? Arizona State. I still see Arkansas beating them out.
Okay. My next 4. Taking UCLA over Tech. That's an easy one. Santa Barbara over East Carolina. That'd be a great one. Got to pick Dayton. Love me some Dayton. Got to pick Dayton because no one likes Michigan. And then I really like what Texas Tech has. So I'm taking the Red Raiders. So now I think you had these 2. You had Long Beach State here, and you had Texas A&M. And then you had Dayton, Wake Forest, and you had Auburn, South Carolina. So who do you have out of those?
So yeah, I'm gonna go with UCLA as well, and then Texas A&M. You're not gonna see me bet against my team right now. Go Flyers! And then I'm probably gonna have to go with Auburn for that last spot, but against South Carolina, that could be definitely a close one.
Okay, so we're at Omaha now. This is where it gets fun. This is where a lot of you guys start watching. this would be crazy. Florida, this region, both of these regions would be just nuts. Absolutely nuts. So this was hard for me. But for my championship, taking Vanderbilt out of this region because I think they have the best pitching. I don't know. Texas has some really good pitching too. Florida's great, and Dallas Baptist can hold their own. I like Vanderbilt the most out of all of those. So I'm going to take Vandy. And then this region was also a really good one. Sorry, Dayton just kind of seems like the odd person out. So, but I love what Santa Barbara has. They play with this energy that you don't see from like every single team. They just play with this energy. They get the timely hits. They're full of studs. I love Santa Barbara in baseball. I really see them just making a run this year. They have the talent to do so. They're starting off ranked 11th, I think 11th in the preseason poll. So I love me some Santa Barbara. But Brock, who do you have?
So out of the one on the left, I'm gonna go with Florida. Vanderbilt's that'll be a close second right there. But I've had the debate with people the last few years of the best program in college baseball, and it usually comes down to Florida and Vanderbilt. And I usually give the edge to Florida, although it's an unpopular opinion. I like what they do there. And then again, not being I got to pick my team.
You got to pick Dayton.
You take the field, you play to win.
To pick Dayton.
I'm picking my team.
You got to pick Dayton. Okay, so for my championship, this is going 3. It's going 3. I want to pick Santa Barbara, but the man Kumar Rocker's nuts. He's nuts. Give me Vandy. And hold on, let me just get this out of the way. Is this what we can expect from you?
No, I'm not going to go out and be presumptuous. I understand college baseball. This is going to be my first year. I'm really excited. And I'm not going to be the guy that says we're better than you. But what I'm going to say is this is our goal. This is what we worked for all off season. So, I mean, saying anything else just seems like a waste of time.
Yeah, hey, listen. There's always a chance. And I know you've told me Dayton's really good. So I'm going to believe you. So be sure you guys like the video. Brock, do you have any social media platforms you want to plug?
No, it's all right. You can follow me at Brock_Bagesha at either on Instagram or Twitter. But you do that if you please.
Okay.
But I just everybody watching, try to tune in to college baseball, and I think you'll be pleasantly surprised how great it really is.
All right, so also I have to say this. I'm not making any money off this video, so don't come at Brock trying to take his eligibility away. You're wasting your time. But thank you guys for watching. Go Dayton, and I'll see you next time.